So I just wanted to jump on and address some news that we got yesterday, and that is the rather frustrating and disappointing news that the British Soap Awards will not be taking place as scheduled this year. And of course, Soap Awards usually takes place in sort of early June, around that time, and it alternates between London and Manchester. Where it is hosted. When it's in London, it's at the Hackney Empire. When it's in Manchester, to be more precise, Salford, it takes place at the Lowry Theatre, which is conveniently just down the road from where Corrie is filmed. We got the statement from ITV yesterday that said the British Soap Awards will be taking a break and will not air in 2026. That's it. That is the sum total of the statement. No explanation given as to why this decision was taken. No confirmation as to whether it will be back next year, whether it will be every other year from now on. Nothing. Just it's not happening this year. End of. And I think there's a lot to unpack here because it's been a pretty rough sort of 7 years, really, for soap fans. Obviously, it didn't take place in 2020 and 2021 because of the pandemic. I know some award ceremonies took place virtually during that time when they couldn't be in person, but they decided not to do that, which is fine. It was the situation that we were all in at the time. Then it came back in 2022 at the Hackney Empire, and in 2023 it was back at the Lowry. I actually went in 2023. Had a great time, met a few people that I'd known for quite some time on Twitter. Was really fortunate enough to meet quite a few cast members from various soaps, including two of my absolute favourites from Corrie in Harriet Bibby and Tina O'Brien, so I was made up with that. Had a great night at the awards ceremony itself. And then it didn't air in 2024. No explanation given then. It came back in 2025 and took place in Hackney, as it should have done the year before. So fair enough. No reason they should lose out. But then here we are again, 2 years on, in the same situation where the ceremony has been cancelled without explanation. Now, last time this happened, there was inevitably a lot of speculation on soap Twitter as to why, considering we didn't have anything official from ITV. A lot of suggestions that it was ITV kind of trying to protect themselves from embarrassment, really, because at the time, Corrie and Emmerdale weren't really in a particularly good place. They were getting a lot of criticism, a lot of negativity around both of them. And, the suggestion, and I suppose this was only a suggestion that people came up with, albeit a lot of people, that ITV were basically worried that it would end up being a bit of a blowout for them and they would end up pretty much empty-handed. Of course, the irony is that when the ceremony did take place in 2025, they only actually won one main award. I think Emmerdale got the Tony Warren Award for a cameraman, I believe he was, who had been with the show a long time. And they also got Best Young Performer for Amelia Flanagan. Corrie got the Outstanding Achievement Award for David Nielsen. But that was it. Those were the only awards that the ITV soaps between them picked up that night. I mean, Hollyoaks actually got as many awards as Corrie and Emmerdale put together, while EastEnders swept up. So that was, a reasonable assumption to come to, given the overall vibe of soap fandom at the time. But this time, that's not the case. Emmerdale's probably the soap that's getting the most praise right now. They've had a really strong start to the year. Of course, we had Corriedale, which was actually ITV's most viewed show across January as a whole in the entire month. Corriedale was ITV's most viewed show with a total of 5.9 million viewers, and only last week ITV was talking about having record streaming numbers and how putting the soaps on early for people to watch has been a major driving force behind that. So everything seemed to be going well at the moment, and I would say there was a pretty good chance of them doing really well at the ceremony if it was taking place. So it seems like a strange decision, and it's not as if the ratings for the ceremony itself will poor either. They've been very strong and climbing. So this doesn't make any sense to me at all, and it's disappointing for soap fans because it's kind of like our Brit Awards, really. It's our big night of the year, the one we all look forward to. It's a chance for fans to come together, meet each other. You know, a lot of fans from all over the country and even abroad get to know each other through social media, and it gives them a chance to meet up in person that they wouldn't normally get. You know, there's certainly people I know through Twitter that I've been talking to for years, but the first time I'd ever met them in person was, you know, on the red carpet at the Lowry in 2023, and the only time in a lot of cases. And I think it's also really disappointing for the cast and crews. This was a point I made on Twitter when I first reacted to this news yesterday, that, you know, the people that make these shows, where it's in front of the camera or behind the camera, work so hard to produce, you know, 2.5 hours worth of television, week in, week out, sort of 50 weeks of the year. And yes, there are other award ceremonies like the NTAs, the Trick Awards, the RTS Awards, things like that, but they only have a handful of soap categories. Like the NTAs now only has literally like 1 or 2 categories that soaps are eligible for, particularly now they don't seem to have the best newcomer anymore. So this is really the one big night of the year where they get to properly celebrate and get recognised for their achievements, and to have that taken away from them again is a bit of a slap in the face, really. Now, obviously, the first couple of times it was cancelled, it was circumstances beyond anyone's control, including the people running the country, but that's a whole rabbit hole I won't go down. You know, that was what it was. It was gutting at the time, but it was inevitable, and it was the right thing to do. But yeah, for them to just turn around and say, yeah, we're cancelling it this year, that's it. Once is taking the you-know-what. And a bit of an insult, really, to those people on those. So to do it a second time, just without explanation, it's not a good look for ITV, in all honesty. What is going to happen now? Are they going to cut, considering it's been, 2024, 2026, are they going to bring it back next year and things go back to normal? Are they just going to run it every other year from now on? Who knows? I think what would be quite good is, I think last time somebody on Twitter actually did sort of their own version of, who people would have nominated, who they would have voted for had the awards actually take place. I think it'd be really cool if somebody was able to do something like that to get, soap Twitter in general engaged, and give the actors and the people behind the scenes that bit of recognition that they are going to be missing out on. So yeah, if somebody did want to organise that or wanted me to, that would be really good, because these casting crews deserve to be properly recognised for the work they put in. So whilst I'm disappointed for fans like myself, as I say, I live just a sort of 20-minute walk from Media City. So if it was taking place this year, I would have been able to go myself. So that's disappointing. But I'm even more disappointed for the people on the shows, in all honesty. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Why do you think ITV have taken this decision? What do you think this means for the soap awards going forward? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see more videos like this where I talk about big talking points, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.